Hello, what we're going to do here then is we're going to make a film about disk partitions, and if I get my Fizzog out of the way and turn this camera around so that we can see this screen, you'll see that what we've got going on here is a virtual machine. Get the screen a bit closer in, there we go, and hopefully you can see what's on there. So, I made a virtual machine and it's running Windows 7, and as you can see it's got one virtual hard drive and it shares the optical drive with the host machine. So let's boot it up and see what happens. Okay, let's get him on. What's a bit fabulous about these virtual machines is that you can use them on a host computer when you don't have any equipment spare lying about. So what I can do is I can fix a virtual hard drive onto this thing, and it will act the same way as if I put a second hard drive into a real physical machine. We'll see that a bit later. Let's let it boot up. Move the camera a little bit because it's not too quite square. There we go. And we're waiting. As you can see, we've got Windows 7 Ultimate. Okay. Let's log in. Right, that's good. We've got a new text document on there, and it's one I prepared earlier. If we look at it, all it says is nothing, so we'll make it say hello, and we'll save it onto the desktop. Okay, what we're interested in now is the computer. So we're going to go there and we're going to have a look at what disk drive we've got. And as you can see, we've got a local disk C and a CD drive with the Windows 7 disk still in it. Shut that down. Oops. And shut Windows 7 down to go back to the host machine. What we should have on the host machine when this shuts down is a thing called a virtual box manager, and there it is. Now then, if I go to the storage part here, the virtual box manager, what I can do is I can add on a hard disk. Okay, and it's telling me I'm about to add a virtual hard disk to the controller SATA. It's asking me, would I like to create a new empty file to hold the disk contents or select an existing one? I have made one before, but I don't want to select an existing one. I want to create a new one. So here we go. Virtual box disk image, virtual hard disk, or virtual machine disk. And we want the virtual box disk image. So we click next, and then we have it dynamically allocated, grows a bit. Never shrinks a bit though. To make the calculations easier for us, we're going to have a measly 10 gigabyte. So off we go. And there it is. It's called New Virtual Disk 1. So let's open Virtual 7 and boot it back up again. There we go, VirtualBox comes up. It'll now ask me if I want to boot from the CD, because I've still got the Windows 7 CD in the CD drive, but I'm just going to ignore it. And then in a few seconds it'll bring Windows up from the own virtual machine disk. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the computer, and what we should see is that we should have the old disk C and the optical drive D, but I'm betting that the new disk that we've just added won't show up. So let's let it boot up, it goes through its machinations there, and see what happens. So, oops, we're on to the host now. This is the virtual machine, so start. Okay, we're going to computer. And as predicted, we've got the local disk C and the CD drive D. So where is the new disk? Well, let's have a look in the disk management and see what's going on here. So to do this, I've got computer management up already here. It's probable that in a new installation that won't be there. So what we do is we'll type in man there, and it brings computer management up at the very top. So we'll click on that, or rather we'll double click on that, and in a second or two we should get computer management up, and there it is. Okay, now we're going into storage, double click, and we're going into disk management. And it's going to find all the virtual disks we've got. And if it was a real computer, it would find all the hard disks we've got. It's found it. Now then, because this is disk 1, this is the disk we've just added. It's asking me to initialize it. So, let's initialize it. And there it is. That's the old disk, C. And that is the CD-ROM, and this is the new disk. Now there's a black bar at the top of it. That means it's not been partitioned. What we've got to do for this BTEC challenge is we've got to have 5 partitions of equal volume. So let's click on the black bar, and what we'll do is we'll create a new simple volume, and that will be our first partition. However, there's something we're going to have to look at here. We've got 10,237 megabytes of maximum disk space. We need to divide that by 5. We're not going to have exactly equal partitions, but we'll get as close to it as we can, because 10,237 divided by 5 is 2,047.4. And I've just worked that out in my head, and this little electronic device here with numbers on it and things, it might be a calculator, has got nothing whatsoever to do with it. So we'll type in there 2047, and we'll click next. Now we can see that what it comes up with here is a drive letter, and so it automatically assigns a drive letter for us, which is very good. We can actually change that. I mean, we could change it to anything we wanted, but I'm going to leave it as E. So we click next. Now we're going to format it as NTFS. Yep, and the allocation unit size we're going to leave as default. We can change the volume label. I'm going to call this E drive. Go. If we finish, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the computer, to the computer here, and see what we've got now. There we are, we've found the E drive, back to the computer, and there it is. The E drive has come up because we've actually partitioned and formatted it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do another few partitions. So we go again, new simple volume, next, 2047 in there because we want them all the same size, next, And it's come up with the letter F automatically, so that's what we'll have. And I'm going to call this the F drive. Next. Finish. Okay, so we've got an E drive, let it format for a while. There we go, it's formatting, and we've got F drive. And if I go to computer again, there we go, we've got F drive and we've got E drive. And there's an interesting little thing here. It thinks it's found a new hard disk, but what it's actually found is that F drive. So I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. And I'm going back to disk management, and I'm going to do my third partition. 2047. Okay, and it's come up with the letter G automatically, which is what we want. Spiffing, off we go, and we're going to call it the G drive. Finish that. Let it format. There we go, G drive. Okay, and we're going to do the fourth one. We're going to get a surprise when we do the fourth one, and I'm not going to say a word throughout this. I'm just going to go through it, do the actions, let you watch, and we'll see what happens at the end. And there's a surprise. We can only really have 4 partitions on the drive, and if I move this little bar here across so we can see what's going on, you can see that we've got the E drive is a primary partition, the F drive is also a primary partition, the G drive is also a primary partition. The H drive, on the other hand, is a logical drive. So Windows has automatically taken the 4th partition we made and turned it into a logical drive. If we look at this, we've still got free space. So what we can do is we can make an extended drive within that logical drive. And the way we do that is we click on that green bar. New simple volume. Okay, and we're going next. And we don't have to set 2047 now because we've only got 2048 megabytes of space left. So we'll give it the entire range. There we go. Okay, it's come up with a letter I. Perform a quick format, NTFS, yes we'll do that. And here we go. Now we've called that new volume rather than iDrive. What we're going to do now is we're going to go back to computer. We're going to get rid of all those autoplays because it's found what it thinks. Sorry, we're going to get rid of all those autoplays because it's found what it thinks are new drives, but they aren't, they're just partitions on the old one. And there we are. Okay. So we've got E, F, G, H and I, which we left called new volume. Do they work? Let's test them and see. So let's shut this down. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. We're going to open this new text document into which we put hello, and we're going to save it. Save as. And if we go to computer, first one is the E drive. Okay, and we'll save that there. And then we'll do the same for all the other drives. Okay, so the last one was E drive, so now we're going to save to the F drive. Come on. Thank you. F drive, a my clumsiness there, sorry about that. So we're going to save it in the F drive, and we're going to go to Save As, and this time we're going to save it in the G drive, and this time we're going to save it in the H drive, I think. Yes, we are. This time we're going to save it in the new volume, or drive I. Okay, there we go. Save. Okay, so we're going to shut it down. Now let's go back to computer. So we'll open the E drive first, and there's a new text document. If we open it up, we can see what it says. Hello, and that's exactly what we want. So now, if we look in the F drive, there it is. Hello, and let's have a look in the G drive, and there it is. Hello, and the H drive. Hello, and finally the I drive, new volume as we called it, there it is. Hello. So there we go, we've just created 5 partitions of equal volume on a new disk, and that satisfies what we've been asked to do by the challenge. Job done, and we can go and have a cup of tea.